Before we get too far away, there is one last card, and that is Lucamine.
Lucamine? Mommy?
This is my friend Harpr. He's really good at the Pokemon TCG, but can he identify whether cards from TCG Pocket are any good? I've prepared several cards from TCG Pocket, and I'll be showing them to him to see what his expert analysis is for these cards.
What up, guys? I'm Harpr. I am a Pokemon trading card game player, and the last time I played Pocket, Mewtwo Gardevoir was the best deck in format. So my current knowledge of this game is close to zero.
But your knowledge of the actual TCG is pretty damn good. You are one of, I would say, the best players in the region, if I'm not mistaken.
I have qualified for Worlds, and then I finished third in the country this year and got second place at the Johannesburg SPE with Terror Box. Shout out Trapper Girls.
Here's how it's gonna work. I have some cards lined up. All you have to do is tell me how good they are on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being it's a stinker, it's a bad card. 10 being it is a staple, it is a must-have.
I am excited. I'm gonna bomb out so hard.
All right, here is your first card.
Okay, first card. Buzzwole. Dude, shout out Buzzwole on the actual TCG. Like, this card was gas. Like, Buzzwole was one of the best cards. Well, it was probably the best card printed in its set, Crimson Invasion. However, looking at this one, okay, 140 HP. Mewtwo was 150, I think. That's low, right? 140 for a 2-prizer is low. 2 retreat is also mid. Mewtwo also like did 150 for 3 energy. This thing's bad.
Mewtwo did 150 for 4 energy.
For 4? Oh, okay.
But I mean, we had Gardevoir back then, so it's like basically, do you need like
exactly? This is a basic though. 120. You know what? I'm gonna give it a young 6 on the scale. It is Buzzwole. I like the guy. He's one of my favorite Ultra Beasts. I'll give him a 6 because that's mid.
I would like to highlight one of the attacks. Big Beat 120.
Yeah.
It has an effect that we see a lot in the regular TCG as well, where you cannot use the attack on the following turn. Does that have any sway in your opinion?
Yeah, I feel like it does, because I'm pretty sure this game doesn't have like much pivot. Like, you don't have access to switch and stuff, and also 3 energy for 120. Like, let's be real, like 120 is not a relevant number. I don't know, it could be a very relevant number, but from what my knowledge is, like Articuno was like 130, so like you're not even one-shotting Articuno if Articuno is still a thing. And then I remember I saw like some other EX announced, and I think it was like 170 or something as a basic. I could be just lying here, but yeah, I feel like 120 is just not a good number to hit, and then you can't attack. Well, you can't use Big Beat during the next turn, so you're essentially doing 150 across 2 turns. Nah, you know what? Actually, I'm changing. That's a 5. That's a 5.
Can we get much lower?
If we can, you know what? We will. That's a 4. That's a 4.
All right.
This card is bulk.
I'm glad that we started with this because I have some cards lined up.
Right.
And that is going to be the cards that you use in the Buzzwole deck, and I want to see how this changes your opinion. The first one is Pheromosa here. So this isn't just for rating, this is just to give you some context, right? This is sort of your other alternative attacker, right? Single prizer, 1 energy, and it does 20 to the active and 20 to the bench. So this is how you're getting that extra bit of damage in, right? That 120 now, plus you're probably softening some stuff up with this 20 ping here and there. Also, very funny that you mentioned, you know, that you're not hitting that much damage. There are some trainer cards that do boost damage, but they are supporters, of course. Similarly, in TCG, we have that as well. We have like Kieran, Blackwell training, but very funnily enough, you mentioned the switch cards, right? Yeah. There is a Celesteela, a basic Pokemon. Check out this ability.
Once during a turn, you may switch your active Ultra Beast with one of your bench Ultra Beasts. Alright, okay, I understand. But Celesteela isn't I mean, Pheromosa doesn't have free retreat. If it had free retreat, then I can start to see something form. However, it doesn't have free retreat. Is like a rescue ball or an air balloon kind of tool in this game?
There is not, but notice Celesteela is not hard once per turn. Or like once per thing. You can have 2 Celesteelas in and you can just cycle. Okay,
but isn't your like bench, I mean, still, it's still like 120 per turn. I feel like that's just not it. Or am I missing something? I feel like Pheromosa seems like a pretty good card. I'm not gonna lie. Like 20 and 20 on the bench, like I feel like if you saw something like that in the TCG, like let's say maybe doing like 40 and 40 to bench would be like good. So like in this game where HPs are kind of like cut in half, 20 and 20, that seems, hey, that's pretty good. I'll give Pheromosa an 8. Celesteela, free switch, I'll give it a 7.
Before we get too far away, there is one last card, and that is Lucamine.
Lucamine? Mommy?
this Buzzwole deck with Pheromosa, Celesteela, and Lusamine, this is arguably like the BDIF because of this. You run the Pheromosa, you swing in, you ping stuff on the bench, you know, eventually this goes down, but then you have Lusamine. So although it is a 3 energy cost for Buzzwole, you are probably retreating manually or whatever from Pheromosa. You have the energy acceleration, you have the ping on the damage on the bench, and then you have the big 120 damage as well.
Okay, all right, yeah, the Lusamine, this is pretty gas, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is a 10, at least for this this kind of archetype, I guess. Like, if you show me the Lusamine first, then everything else, I'd be like 10, 10, 10, 10. But, like, yeah, without Lusamine, these cards are, bad. With Lusamine, I'll up Buzzwole from a 4 to an 8. I still feel, you said this is BDIF? So my expectations were a lot higher coming into this. They started off strong with me. How is Mewtwo not just better than this deck?
Mewtwo's a bit slower because of the fact that you need the Gardevoir to set up, right? So you need 4 energy for it, and then you need to sit behind the Gardevoir and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
The next main card that I want to show you now, funnily enough, is actually something that we kind of touched on already. Red.
During this turn, attacks used by a Pokemon do plus 20 damage. All right, I feel like this is going to be like a 9. I feel like doing 20 damage to active EX... like, that's big. Plus 20? Now Pheromosa is hitting like 40 and 20 for 1 energy. And then essentially Buzzwole's hitting for 160 because of like the damage from red. And then, I like that. Especially like when like you aren't hitting crazy numbers. And I feel like a lot of these EXs have like very specific numbers to hit. Like, you know, like in the TCG right now, the number to hit is like 320. So you just want to get over that line. So I feel like if there's like a specific line you want to get across, red can probably get your deck across there. So yeah, that's pretty good. 9 out of 10.
There was actually a very similar card, Giovanni, but that was only plus 10 to any though. And this is sort of like eclipsed it because of just how prevalent EXs are. Like plus 20 to that, more often than not, it's, as you said, it gets you those thresholds and it gets you those games.
That does seem really good, yeah. All right. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it now. I'm starting to understand the numbers. The numbers, Mason, what do they mean?
All right, from one red card, the next card is a red card.
Red card. Dude, this card was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, this card was pretty good when I was playing. And this card just seems really good in general. Like, shuffle draw 3, like imagine that in the TCG as an item. That would be insane. Rip that in a Badoo. But this isn't the TCG. This is Pocket, and I gotta channel my inner I don't want to. I was gonna roast the Pocket community. My bad.
Your inner childlike brain, your smaller brain.
I was gonna say my inner like glue sniffing brain or something. I'm gonna say this is like a 6 out of 10. I feel like it's okay, but I feel like it's just better cards to include, especially because you only have 20 cards per deck, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 20 card decks.
Yeah, so I feel like you just have better stuff. Like, I wouldn't see a deck like Buzzwole be running red card. And if that's BDIF, it's probably not running red card, so I'm guessing not many other good decks are running red card. So, you know what, actually, I'll give this like a C tier. I'll give it like a 4 out of 10. Not great.
All right, I think I'm going to say something that will blow your mind. As of late now, they have introduced Rare Candy.
No way. How is Mewtwo not the best deck in the game then with Rare Candy? Hold up, what?
There are better options.
No shot.
But yeah, red card has seen a lot more play now because of the fact that as the game has evolved, it's gotten a lot more combo heavy. Like, yeah, back in the day, if you weren't playing cards, it's not because you're setting up a big combo turn. It's because you have dead cards. Like,
you have to play cards.
What are you gonna do with the potion?
I remember potions used to be used, no? I used to run potions in Mewtwo Guardi. Alright, well, okay, I understand. Red card, now that Rare Candy's introduced, fair enough.
Next one, I'm interested to see if you will know this, because these were cards that were around during the Mewtwo days, but I don't know if they were kind of like a tech card, so...
What are we cooking up here? Fossils? Wait, I remember these were used like in an Articuno deck. Because you could like sit behind it or something. I don't remember, to be honest. This is just bad. This is just like a 1, right? These can't be good. No way these are good. Because it's 40 HP. Like, I remember Farfetch did 40 damage for 1 energy. And that was on your first turn. No shot. This is horrible.
So these were actually incredibly useful as tech cards. I don't know if you remember. The only Gust in the format back in the day was Sabrina.
Yes.
But that was your opponent chooses the Pokemon to send out.
Yes.
So you would put this on the bench as opposed to your 2 prizes, so that if you get Sabrina, you can just toss this up as a liability. And also, you put this down on your bench, and you have that as like your Sabrina proofing, right? And then let's say you do eventually get set up and they do happen to take like a 2-prizer early on, right? This is still a liability because then they could just take this out. You can discard it even while it's on the bench. So then you just remove this liability, and then you're just stuck with your big fat Mewtwo in the active or whatever, or your Articuno in the active, like you were saying, and then they have to try and beat through that.
I never thought about it like that, to be honest. Fair enough. I still think it's bad now. Is it bad now?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
nowadays
all right, cool.
it's like, but back then though, it was a really cool tech that people would have.
Yeah. Is there like a boss in this game now?
So that's actually one of the cool things about TCG or the Pocket is that there are more gusts, but they are not as broken in like our TCG where did you say, oh, give me that 2-prizer and let me win. There's like Cyrus where you can pull up an opponent's Pokemon, but it has to be damaged.
Ah, okay, so like Famosa, that's like...
Yeah.
So you can like Famosa, ping 20 and just gust up that guy. Fair enough. Understandable.
The last card for today. Speaking about hiding behind fossils and whatnot.
You can show me another fossil.
Nah.
Okay. Druddigon. This Pokemon is that do 20 damage to attack Pokemon? 2 retreat. This is a 0. This is terrible. Like 2 retreat cost, the attack stinks, and then it's only doing 20 damage like when it's attacked, but it's like, does the 20 damage matter when you have cards like red? You're giving up like prize cards. I feel like that's just bad, and I feel like they don't even have to attack it. They could just set up their board stage, right? Yeah, this is the one because Druddigon is a cool Pokemon.
So otherwise it would have been like a 0 had it not been a Druddigon.
Yeah, if this was like Charizard or something, it would be a 0.
Okay, so Druddigon. Obviously, right now doesn't see much play because obviously they come out with like new sets every month or so. But Druddigon was very, very oppressive at some point.
What?
20 damage every time you get hit, right? And yes, if you have red, then you can knock it out in one hit. But then you have to hit 80 damage, and you're probably not doing that on your very first turn. You're probably gonna have to take 2 hits to knock this thing out. So that means 40 damage. What if you were to slap on a Rocky Helmet on this thing? So you take another 20 every time you hit it.
Oh,
so you take 40 damage.
Okay, I see. Okay, now that's fair. If this thing has like a Rocky Helmet attached to it, then fair enough. I don't really want to be swinging into Druddigon if there's a Rocky Helmet attached and I'm just gonna die in 2 turns. Like I'm gonna die before it dies. Okay, yeah, I take it back, Druddigon. I wasn't familiar with your game. I'll give him a 5.
All right, that's not all though.
Okay. Oh goodness. Okay.
So you were complaining about the retreat cost. Two retreat. It's kind of high. There is a supporter called Leaf, which just says your active Pokemon is reduced by 2. Their retreat cost. So this essentially can have free retreat when you do need to get it out of the active. I will say, you are never using this thing's attack. You are not attacking with this thing. It is just a wall.
Definitely. All right. Okay. I see the appeal. In fact, that's pretty cool. He's a 7. Shout out Druddigon. What a cool guy. He went from a 1 to a 7. Glow up.
Okay, 7. Well, here's the thing. You might be wondering. Some people might be at home wondering. Okay, but if you're not attacking with this thing, you're not energizing this. What are you sitting behind this for? Like, what are you setting up? Take a peep at this.
Setting up Darkrai. When you attach a dark energy from your energy zone to this Pokemon, do 20 damage to your Okay, all right. So we're just damage spreading for the fun of it right now. That's honestly this might be a 10 out of 10 card. This seems insane.
So you're starting to see the plan now. So you sit behind the Druddigon, you just attach an energy to Darkrai every turn.
No, but the weakness is grass.
But don't forget, weakness is only just plus 20 damage. It's not double damage.
Yeah, but the problem is, Buzzwol's hitting 120, which means it's hitting 140. So
that's true.
Stinks.
So actually, fun fact. So yeah, this Druddigon Darkrai deck was like one of the better decks. And then obviously when Buzzwol came out, this did start to drop off a bit.
Okay, that makes sense.
However, there is a third card for this combo. So you're sitting behind the Druddigon, right? And you're energizing your Darkrai, but I mean, you're not really attacking, right? You're not really... What are you doing for your turn, right? There is a third card.
Is it the Greninja that puts more damage?
It is a G card.
Dude, it's Giratina! It's Arctina! I remember this card. I remember when this card was announced. Yeah. It didn't look good. Actually, you know what? It's pretty good. 130. You get to attach, and now like you're sitting. Your manual attach is going to Darkrai for the 20 damage. Your ability is going to the Giratina. This deck seems gas. Yeah, Giratina, 10 out of 10. Shout out Giratina, love that guy. In fact, I have an alt art version of this Giratina. Yeah, dude. This is good. This Giratina is good. This has to be good. 130 is also a W number because with red you're hitting 150, and that's killing Mewtwo.
Also, a big thing about Tina as well is that one of the weird rules in the Pocket is that if you're going first, you are so limited in what you can do. You can't even attach an energy for turn, even though, like, you know, you guarantee one energy. So if you have this going first, you can still get an energy on your first turn. So you still have an attack on like turn 3 at that point.
That's pretty good. Because it's like you're manually attaching to the Darkrai and you're using the Giratina ability, so you're essentially getting double attach per turn. And then you don't even have to attack because you're doing damage with the rough skin, with a Rocky Helmet, and the Nightmare Aura. What an ability name. Yeah, to be fair, Darkrai does have Aura. That's pretty cool. Is it like a penny in the game? Because I feel like then you can like pick up your Druddigon and force your opponent to go through like a full-on Darkrai and Giratina.
So actually, funny enough, they did just announce a new penny card in the newest set. Look at a random supporter card that's not penny from your opponent's deck and shuffle it back into their deck. Then use the effect of that card as this card's effect.
That seems so bad, right?
I don't know.
I guess if like in a mirror match it could be decent because I guess now you get to run extra specific supporters. But like those kinds of things have never been good in the TCG, so I doubt it's very. But then again, like it's the actual TCG, so I don't know, man. I'm lost. Yeah, 10 out of 10 cards.
All right, penny's gonna be the new meta going forward. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, boys.
But alright, that has been a few cards from TCG Pocket. You never know, maybe there are some skills that can transfer over from regular TCG over to TCG Pocket. And I mean, hey, there is apparently some Pocket events being announced at Worlds, so maybe, you know.
Next year, bro, I'm going for Worlds and Pocket, man. I'm quitting the TCG, I'm going for Pocket. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. Is there anything you also want to say to the fans at home?
Terapagos.
And on that note, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe. And if you would like us to do more of these videos, leave a comment down below of some cards you would like me to show Harpr for a future video. But until next time, bye bye.